Hello and welcome to Clive Shed, Doctor Who Rewatch podcast. I'm your host, Dominic Parry, and with me today are...
James.
And Greg.
Okay, in today's episode we're going to talk about episode 3 of season 1, The Unquiet Dead. Now, Greg, what did you think of this episode?
It's probably the strongest so far in my opinion. It's much more coherent. It has this really strong plot line throughout, and it sets up a lot of what comes back later, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a very, very good episode.
Yeah, I think it's the best, I think it's probably the most defining episode so far, in comparison to Rose and End of the World. So, James, what do you think of this episode?
Yeah, because this episode isn't. Yeah, this episode's good. It's not like, obviously, it doesn't have like be the first episode. It's not the first episode. It's not even a follow-up episode to the first, which is usually, especially for a reboot, just as important as the first. It's now an episode that's like in its stride, more of a standard episode going through.
Yeah.
And
the groove has been established.
Yeah, this is like now we're done with setup. We're running. Do you know what I mean? We've learned to walk. Now we're starting to run. This is what this episode is. And yeah, it does set up a lot of stuff and a lot of RTD mythology. More than I thought it did. So yeah.
Yeah, So, I personally really like this episode. It's a very kind of it kind of brings a lot of morality into it that were in the past two episodes. So it's like, doing the right thing
and having it blow up in your face.
Yeah. So, Rose is she's just all right with it. She's fine.
Yeah.
I like the fact that we have our first. It is our first, isn't it? Like cold open kind of thing.
No,
proper cold open.
No. Oh, cold open as in establish the setting more than just where the Doctor and Rose are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because obviously the one prior did that.
Because we're with Gwyneth, the ancestor of Gwen, somehow, even though she dies.
Yeah.
So.
But no, with the big bad wolf.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, right?
It's really Welsh.
I like Welsh. That though. I really like. I like the fact that it goes, like, it's Wales.
In Cardiff, like, as Welsh as you can get.
Yeah, these people are from up there, Brecon.
That is the best line because it's so out of nowhere.
But I love the RTD humour.
No, it's not RTD. It's
Mark Gatiss.
Mark Gatiss, and it comes across as Mark Gatiss humour. It really does come across like League of Gentlemen kind of. You can picture that kind of joke in that series.
Swansea.
So, yes, Swansea.
It's Swansea joke.
But alas, Doctor Who, not League of Gentlemen.
Log.
That's another series we could do. But I think this episode, it's like the first version of kind of like Vincent and the Doctor kind of thing.
Yeah, historical figure.
Yeah.
It is, but I like how I feel like this is probably one of the best done historical figure episodes in the new Doctor Who.
Okay, so we got. Okay, let's just go through it. We have Charles Dickens. We have. I think they have a historical figure each series. They don't do it multiple times because we've had.
Well, we've got Agatha Christie. We've had Rosa Parks.
Shakespeare.
Winston Churchill.
Shakespeare. Charles Dickens and Queen Victoria. Yeah, I think it's capped to one per series.
Yeah.
So you don't run out.
I think this is probably one of the best for the interactions between the Doctor
Yeah,
and...
definitely, and it's not like he's hyped up.
No, but like...
He
when
becomes
he's, like,
part of it.
He's like, I'm your number one fan. And he's like... It's very... Chris Rockson absolutely nails it. That it just, like... In fact, this entire episode he nails playing the Doctor. Like,
yeah, this is like, you could even like attribute like, I like the Doctor being a fanboy is a very big part of the Doctor being a fanboy is part of what the Doctor does, especially in historical figure episodes. I'm such a big fan.
I think what was great though is the fact that he doesn't. Because of what's happening, he doesn't realise who he is.
Yeah, he's so.
And it's only when he kind of realises.
Yeah.
But it's one of those great kind of like, you feel, for this character, for Charles Dickens, it's, he's a very remarkable writer, and it's, his work is historic. It is essentially timeless, isn't it? Which is why it lasts forever, as the Doctor says. And so, when the Doctor is fanboying over him, pretty much everyone who's watching that can understand what he's on about.
Yeah, he's catching up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas there are some other episodes where it's like, what's going on here? I don't really know who this historical figure, like...
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything too egregious with it. Like, like in Rosa... historical episode.
The bus scene.
No. I mean how for some reason he brings in like Martin Luther King and stuff. And
it's like, I understand that.
It's the whole. Focus on one historical figure. Nikola Tesla as well.
Yeah, just.
But to be honest, bringing in Edison as well, it was related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, I feel like
yeah.
Rosa bringing in the others, they weren't needed there, and so like if in this episode they had some more historical figures, it would have been a bit like
breaking it down.
Why? Yeah, like
it's how you relate to the story, really. I think that's the key with it.
I absolutely love the fact that this one isn't like a lot of the other ones where it's like the celebrity essentially is kind of like relegated to the background.
No, because Dickens here, he becomes an actual character in the story. He's involved, really,
and he's the one who saves them. He is. Like, I know
also,
Gwyneth
what better setting for Charles Dickens to pop up than surrounded by ghosts? Yeah.
And that's the thing with Mark Gatiss episodes. He's clearly like, when he's self-commit, like, yeah, he's known as being like a big horror nut, like, and all his episodes are all like these creepy, for the most part, creepy sort of horror episodes. All the ones he writes.
Yeah.
They're all like League of Gentlemen is borderline horror.
Some of it is. There are other bits that are a lot more light.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the laugh track, Tubbs and Ed would like. I like Pennywise, like. But.
Well, and Mr.
Oh, Papa Lazarus.
Papa Lazarus, not Mr. Lazarus. Yeah, but back to Doctor Who. The whole like the Gelf trekking the Doctor. It's such a like obvious thing.
Yeah.
But it's also like the Doctor is the Doctor, so he can't leave them in there.
It's the Doctor's empathy taking over. His compassion for others will always be his downfall.
But you see, that's my problem slightly when you compare this to episodes like Fires of Pompeii, when he saves Pierre Capaldi's character and his family. It's like, why wouldn't you? If you tried to save the Gelf, and you had like such a like, I'm going to save these people. They were going to die anyway. You didn't have to do anything. You just left them there.
I think it's also because of the war. It's guilt. They're guilt tripping him.
It is.
That's
and you can tell
that's the point. They're guilt tripping him.
Does the doctor, because I don't know, but I don't think he mentions, or I don't think anyone calls him the doctor during their conference call to the Void, you know, when they're chatting to them and then they're all like, oh, save us, please. I don't think anyone mentions the doctor.
No.
But then when they go down to the morgue, they say, doctor, you know, like, thank you, doctor.
Ah.
So, like, they know who he is.
Inconsistent there.
I don't think it's inconsistent.
No, I think that's more like.
I think it's meant to be like they know who he is,
and
in the moment he doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
I think I'd love to see a kind of variation of a scene like this, where, you know, Gwyneth, is the like conduit for these things, and someone just shoots her. It's like, well, saved it, you know.
But no, I think this episode's good, and I like it. Like, this is like where they start feeding in like the story arcs. They start like actually explicitly start to name the war.
Yeah.
The time. I think they even call it like the time war in this.
Well, they do.
No, they do.
They say the time war, don't they?
I think they're
talking about the time war, like, oh, we're trapped in here. It's weird.
They talk about the big bad wolf and like, basically, Gwyneth has the Shining.
I love how
it is the Shining. Literally,
yeah, it is. It's so unexplained because, and I love how she's just like I like how she refers to Rose. Doesn't she call her wild or something? Because she looks all posh, but she sounds wild or something like that. Because, like...
Fails to Bechdel.
You know. Oh, my God.
It really does.
Wait, no, how does it? Does it?
Yeah. Has to have a conversation.
Oh, yeah, because they're talking about a guy. Oh, my...
And it's not like they just mention, like, somebody in passing, but it's how they talk about it. It's like, ooh...
Yeah.
It's a bit...
But to be fair, it does also work for the moment.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's a bit of chatting. Like,
yeah.
They're not trying to focus on the situation.
I keep forgetting that Rose is like 19.
Yeah, she is 19.
Yeah,
so
I think
she's going to be talking about kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. But oh my God, like the Rift.
I would love to see more characters with this shining power. Because
she can't just be the only one.
I think they have had, not like this, but
I know they've had one or two, but...
Ooh, Chloe Webber.
Do not bring Chloe Webber up. She does not exist. That episode didn't happen.
Oh, it will.
Do you know what's funny about that episode? The Chloe Webber Fear Her. It's included on the DVD for... Is it Doomsday?
Makes sense. It's the one before Doomsday. Yeah.
Doomsday and but Doomsday. It's on that DVD because they know no one else wants it. Like, so they're like, we'll just chuck out that one. It's such a because they know you want Doomsday and the army of ghosts, but you don't want Fear Her.
And yeah,
But anyway,
yes.
Like, that power, I mean, like, because Chloe Webber, she doesn't have that power.
No.
She has the power to, like, bring things.
Yeah.
But I feel like that could be such a cool...
It's the more possession of otherworldly things. That's what we mean by the Shining.
Yeah. Just imagine, right, if we had a companion with that power. Just to really throw a wrench in the works.
I think they will.
See, that would be interesting.
They need to. I hopefully pray to God, Chibnall. Pray to bloody God that you do something that's not somebody from contemporary Earth who's just a generic face. Again.
Why not?
Well,
that's exactly what we want.
No, do Victorian England. Just do that. Like, have that sort of like... Yeah, we need that.
We've already had Victorian England.
No, we haven't.
What?
I mean, companion from Victorian times.
Oh, yeah. Companion from the past.
Yeah, or companions from a different planet. that probably is a bit harder to do, but they could still try. But he needs to do something.
No, I don't think like that. Like, if you did someone, there must be some characters that would be cheap enough to do.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Characters from the past.
Yeah, I think the last time they did that was back in the 60s with Jamie and Victoria.
Because we got close with Clara. Cockney Clara.
Yeah.
And she's the best version of Clara. She has more of a character.
Agree.
Yeah.
She has way more.
Yeah, no, every companion is from the future. Present.
Yeah.
Mostly. I feel like like an alien. Well, actually, no, sorry. Vastra is an alien companion, and Strax.
But they're not companions. They're friends.
No, they stay in Victorian London.
I know, but they're in enough episodes that you could call them companions.
No, they're more allies.
For those stories.
Recurring characters, surely.
Yeah.
Like,
but I feel like you could do aliens of some sort. Like
Sarah Jane Adventures does this better. With Luke.
God damn it.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Luke's not a real person.
No, he's not. Because he's the Bane.
But what I mean is, he's not just a kid from contemporary. Well, he is. You know what I mean? They've gone out of the way to make him not just an everybody who lives down the. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's the problem. We need someone who has skill. Because a skill they use, not just like Ryan's disability that comes and goes whenever it seems important. Like if we had a character who was, I don't know, trained as like
psychic. Basically,
why is psychic?
Because it's easy.
Psychic is not. That is not a job.
No, technically, like a Charles Xavier.
I know, but I meant like I know Martha's technically like trained in medical stuff, kind of, but she's not really. She doesn't do anything with it, does she? Like, Rose is a thicko, and we know she is. She didn't even get A levels. Like, come on. But just a character who has a bit more to them.
Yeah, like has like an ability, but like the Shining thing.
No, we're not just an ability, but just a skill. Like, oh, I know how to do this. I'm really good at hacking.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, so the Doctor doesn't always use the sonic screwdriver because their friend, the hacker, can just hack into stuff. Like.
Yeah.
Already, like that was a thing. Lady Christina D'Souza, was it?
Yeah, the jewel thief.
Yeah, she in that episode, she did more with her set of skills than the majority of the other companions have.
No, because she had a set of skills.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Back to the third episode. So, Greg, who's your favourite character in this episode?
Oh, see, that's difficult because I like all these characters, but I'd say the old guy. He's just so funny. Yeah. He's just got some great lines.
He's weak because he's not evil.
No,
but
he's not good. But he's not a good person, really.
He's a bit of a perv. I actually thought they were going to go as far as having like a necrophiliac joke in this.
No.
That'd be low-hanging fruit. All the dead bodies around.
I mean, just right. James, who's your favourite character?
It's probably Gwyneth. I mean, because she's obviously the main character really of the episode, and it's just interesting, like because like. It's interesting seeing like this, like talking about like Torchwood now. How this series has 3 characters that will star in Torchwood. That are actually it's 3 actors who will be in Torchwood, and it has 2 characters who will be in Torchwood. Tish being in the next episode.
Well, it has 3 characters who are connected to Torchwood.
Yeah, but one's Drew, run through the shitty. I mean, not good, right? Like just like cheesy.
A connection that doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
Because
just
Gwyneth dies. So how is she related to a woman?
And how do they look exactly the same?
No, the exactly the same thing does kind of make sense because that does happen. But, and I mean, it is like, you know, that, right, Gwyneth and Gwen is not as bad as Martha and...
Ooh!
Is it Alicia? Is it Alicia?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's bad. That is bad, that one.
Oh yeah, Martha's cousin, isn't it?
Martha's cousin, who looks identical. Are you sure they're cousins or not just identical twins? Like that was just such a... Ugh. Like, yeah, but basically that kind of thing. Like, this makes sense because they are it's ancestry kind of relations, whatever you'd call that. Hereditary, I suppose it could be. But it's like, just why would you hire someone to play the cousin and...
Because they didn't hire the next companion yet until that point yet. That's why.
I know, but it's just so like they could have said it like tragically, like it was her twin sister.
Yeah.
That would have been even worse.
See, like, that would have worked.
Oh my god, her sister was killed in this event. No, her identical cousin.
I think if she was killed in that event, she wouldn't have gone with the doctor. Do you know what I mean? Because I think twins.
I don't know, because that could have been a good. I think twins are too tension builder.
Yeah, but she was. Okay, Martha was meant to be the rebound. I don't think you'd be a rebound or actually have. Do you know what I mean, if you knew that they were responsible for killing your twin sister?
No, because you wouldn't know it. You would have it as like a tension thing that builds through a season as she finds out. Why are we talking about this? It has nothing to do with.
Back to Unquiet Dead.
Yeah, back to it. For fuck's sake. It's just so fun to talk about everything.
Other than the episode we're talking
outside of it, yeah.
Because we always come
It's a great episode.
Because each episode brings up a new point. And trust me, like the next episode, trust me, will be probably like an hour and a half about all this stuff we could bring up about it.
Yeah.
Like that's... Yeah. But back to this episode. Yeah, it's
I think...
Yeah.
So, the Vincent... What I was going to say, right? So, this has the best Vincent and the Doctor scene.
That's not Vincent and the Doctor.
I think. And by that I mean Vincent and the Doctor, the whole, like, he goes to the art gallery and sees his work. That, I know it's an amazing kind of thing, but I honestly think that this way is better.
It's much more subtle.
Yeah, it's such a subtle, just in, like, you know, he's just like, he's a concerned, like, because he asks earlier in the episode, have I wasted my life? Because he, like, all of this, you know, the veil that's been pulled back and the world is completely different. And he's like, have I wasted my life? And so that last bit when he goes, oh, my work's remembered, he goes forever, it's like, I haven't wasted my life then. Because he's super happy, like...
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think the thing is with Vincent and the Doctor, it's the dramatic irony... Back to Vincent and the Doctor. It's the dramatic irony of it. And it is, like, because... Let's be real, like with Charles Dickens in this episode, he could not have... If he was not in this episode, would it have mattered?
I mean,
no, but
not.
He is a great part of the episode.
He's a good part, but it's... You don't...
He adds to it.
He adds to it, but if you're to remove him, nothing's really taken away. The episode remains...
No, it'd still be a great, you know, murder mystery sort of thing.
The problem is he is like a side... He's like the side ally of this episode.
Yeah.
So, like the tree person from last episode, he's the side ally, and Clive from the episode before, he's the good guy who helps them, and he has an interesting part to play in it. You know, he references stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a different type of character that you don't get usually.
Yeah.
Like,
I think in the case of Vincent's Doctor, the point is that the reason why it was such a big scene about the art gallery is because you knew what happens after, and that's what makes it sad.
Yeah.
Whereas Charles Dickens isn't as tragic as Vincent. Nothing else.
It isn't, but I think it's still like.
Yeah.
For what he.
To the point.
I would say that for what they did, Charles Dickens is more memorable than Vincent Van Gogh, whatever.
Really?
Because
I would disagree with that. I would really disagree.
No, because
how
of the
people
fact
talk
that
about Vincent and the Doctor.
I know he did art, but Charles Dickens did words that have turned into
pictures
many
speak
more
louder
words.
than words, though.
Yeah, do they in this case though? I mean, in relation to Doctor Who, the one that kind of transcends this universe. So the thing. I know that they do the whole Vincent draws paints the TARDIS exploding, but the Doctor, that's it's a weird one because it's you use that character to set up something, whereas Charles Dickens never gets to do that. His story is unchanged. Whereas Vincent Van Gogh suddenly becomes some prophet for the Doctor, which doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, I will. That's probably the tractor, because especially of what it meant, Vincent and the Doctor, where you sort of suddenly realise, no, he's just getting something beamed into his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
is Vincent and the Doctor with no? That's not the one with the vampires, is it?
No, that was Vampires of Venice.
No, that was
Yeah. I mean, it's in the title. I could have got that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. Vincent and the Doctor is one where the historical character is a big focus.
Yeah.
Whereas this is one where he's a side character.
Yeah, that's what.
He's along for the ride.
Yeah, rather than the Doctor helping.
Yeah.
This historical figure.
Which is probably why I enjoy this more, because they're just along for the ride as well. They are not the most important person in this entire story.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to be.
Yeah.
I think what else do? So obviously we get back the Doctor gets crossed at the end because we could see it a mile off. And
wait, who's to get crossed with?
No, he gets crossed by the what's it called?
Oh right,
yeah.
The Gelf.
The Gelf. He gets crossed by them, and yeah.
I feel like that you can see that coming miles off. Rose's argument is a bit why? When she's like, oh, but you can't, they're dead people. And it's yeah, but you literally heard with them saying, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
So I know it makes some sense, but it also is a bit how dumb is she meant to be if she can't understand something that she literally got told?
Yeah. I think it's the denial aspect.
I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
it's a decent episode.
But I feel like I've said a lot. So
again, it's not much to say because it's quite literally something happens at the theatre, then they go to that house.
Yeah, I think the thing is that it's because I really like this episode, so I don't want to I can't really hate on it too much.
It's not like the episode before where it is dated so horrifically.
Yeah.
And tries to be all futuristic and that edgy sort of and it's so.
The problem is that futuristic stuff. If you look at futuristic stuff in film or TV or anything, there was a lot of futuristic stuff that was I'm thinking Running Man and stuff like this, where it's all, I think it's Running Man, where it's all a kind of post-apocalyptic-ish place. It's all it's all grimy and dirty. And then you get the flip side where it's all kind of angelic and like pristine. And this was like,
yeah,
I don't even know. It tried to be the nice side, but it just didn't hit it.
You just tried to compare.
Yeah, it didn't work.
You just tried to compare Running Man to Blade Runner.
Pretty much. Yeah. But I haven't seen Blade Runner, but yeah. You know what I mean?
Both set around now, really.
Yeah.
Or should be.
No. It was set in 2019. First one.
But yeah, it's the fact that this. Also, the fact that this, like, if you've been to Cardiff, there are some like parts where you'll be like, "Oh, I've seen that place."
Yeah, it's up there in Brecon.
And it's that's the other thing. They can do references in this episode, and it works. They can do cultural stuff, and it works because they're not going, "Oh, here's Toxic on a jukebox in 5 billion years in the future, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that
calling
just
it classical music.
It doesn't sit right with me. But like this, when he's like fanboying over the works of Charles Dickens, it works because you know about it, and it works for the time.
Yeah, I mean, the entire episode is being done in the style of, a Dickens novel or short story.
Yeah. And that's why I think the style, because it's directed by Urslin again, who did last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think he did the first as well.
Urslin did. No, that was Keith. Someone.
Ah, okay.
Keith. It was Keith.
But Urslin, who's done a lot of Doctor Who episodes, you can definitely see the style changes from this one to the last episode. Like I'm sorry,
it needs to have a Star Trek show.
Yeah, it does, but it just goes to show you that like what made that one so I wouldn't say it's a terribly bad written episode, but the way it looks and how it moves, it's quite bad.
Yeah, whereas Unquiet Dead is so much more natural in the way that it's shot, in the way that
linear.
Everything like flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a linear
there's
story.
There's no multiple storylines going on.
Because Urslin also did Tooth and Claw, what's it called? Girl in the Fireplace, Idiot's Lantern, Fear Her. Don't know. He also did the one that every kid shat his pants over. Silence in the Library and the Forest of the Dead.
With Steve Pemberton.
Yeah. Oh no. When Donna takes the veil.
Oh no! Don't.
That's like. That is like.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah, eventually. That one. That was scarring.
Absolutely.
And he did End of Time Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I think the fact is that this episode, I know Rose gets separated from the Doctor again, but she gets separated, and then the Doctor follows.
Yeah.
So you're still in the moment the whole time. You're not like, there's not many like kind of jump cuts and stuff like that. Like there is at the start really, but then you follow the people, and that's better. Like there's no kind of here's what Rose is doing, here's what the Doctor's doing, here's what Rose is, because that it gets tedious and tiresome. And
yeah.
You kind of think like, why am I watching the Doctor and his companion if they're not together?
Yeah.
To put it simply. But anyway, have you got? What do you guys want to say about this episode?
Nothing more than.
I've talked a lot.
Nothing more than what has already been said. I think it's very simple. This is simple. This is an example of a simple story just done.
Yeah, it's a simple, good story.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Well, that's the Charles Dickens-ness of the episode, isn't it? Like it's.
Yeah.
Quite simple.
I think but I think also coming off the last episode, this is a lot better. In everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that this was the first scary episode of the modern series.
Oh no! I wouldn't say that. Plastic Mickey.
Really?
Plastic Mickey.
No, but Plastic Mickey isn't scary.
Oh,
he is scary to maybe some little kids, but he's not like scary. He's like weird scary.
But this one seems to be like it's got ghosts flying around. It's got people with like possessed eyes. You got like dead bodies like
zombies
being reanimated. You got all of this creepy lighting. It's much more horror, like
also,
supernatural horror focused.
How can anyone think the Gelth are good when the first thing they do is kill someone? They snap the guy's neck.
Yeah. Or I like how the Gelth like changes colour.
Oh right, to red.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
The orange.
Shouldn't they be more dangerous when they're blue?
Yeah, because blue fire is hotter than orange fire. Yeah.
I guess, but it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's just a weird thing. You're not meant to break that down.
Blue's a bit more of a good colour than red is.
That's the whole point of it. Like that's why they do it.
But scientifically, it doesn't make sense.
Scientifically,
no.
This episode's wrong. This episode of a time traveling show
is wrong. Anyway,
Greg, have you got anything else you want to add?
Not really. No, that I just really like this one. Yeah. It's the first one that I've actually like truly said, seen as, like one of the best.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable episode. So, James, what would you rate this out of 10?
I would rate this out of 10. You gave a 5 to what's it? I'm probably going to say I'll say 7.
All right. Greg, what are you going to give out of 10?
Probably a 7.5, if I'm being honest. I think this is my highest rated of the season so far.
I'd still say...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously a competition at the moment between this and... I'm interested about what I'm going to think of next week. Not next week's. The next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like next week's is going to be interesting. I think that one's going to be... Yeah.
I would give it an 8. Because it's the best so far because it doesn't jump around.
No,
it's a story.
It's to the point.
And we follow the story. And if it had jumped around a bit too much, if it had jumped around more like the end of the world, it would not have worked.
No.
It has got some jumps, but it's a very linear story, as I said, and it's easy to follow. It's
it's aged better.
It's memorable.
It's aged better than the previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, more happens in it.
It feels much more like Doctor Who than End of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an instant. So, I think End of the World, you start off and it's a very here's the other people, here's the people, here's the people again. Whereas this one, it's you start off with the kind of cold open bit, and it's showing you the Gwyneth and the old guy, don't really know what his name is, and it's it's straight into it once the Doctor and Rose appear.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Rather than waiting for the story to actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's probably 10 maybe 15 minutes of the last episode where it's slow and you're oh, when's something going to happen?
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's straight away.
It doesn't waste its time.
You're hooked instantly on this one. And you don't lose the hook throughout the episode because it keeps going. So, yeah, I think it's overall just a better episode. And I think that'll do it for this one. Go and watch episode 1 and 2 of Clive Shed. I was about to say Today in Doctor Who, but it's not that. Only on YouTube. Exclusivity on this one.
Well, because you can't get another feed.
No, I just can't be bothered.
Mm.
No, it's an exclusive thing to YouTube because why not? Like I feel like we have to have something that's exclusive to YouTube. So this will be it. And
Nice.
go watch Today in Film or listen to it on the podcast stuff. And I'll see you next week for Boomtown, I think. Yeah, Boomtown.
No, Aliens of London, World War 3.
Okay, then. Are we doing... Alright, we'll decide.
It's two-parter.
See you next time. See you next time,
See you
chaps.
then.